All right, what's going on, my friends? Misha Wilson here, and welcome to another episode of Behind the Scenes with an Internet Millionaire. Now, I'm really excited to go ahead and release or create this episode for you, because in today's episode, I'm going to go ahead and walk you through and show you the brand new sales process, brand new sales funnel that we went ahead and built for, of course, this offer and this product being Testo Fierce, the testosterone booster in the product line. I'll walk you through the pages we've built, the sequencing of the actual flow, the thought process behind it, and why we went ahead and designed things the way we did. So if this is your first video, once again, this series is all about essentially me building a brand new brand that we went ahead and purchased up to the $1 million, business mark. And you get to watch me through the entire process. You get to watch the good, you get to watch the bad, you get to watch the ugly, you get to watch me succeed, you get to watch me fail, and you don't get anything left out. So with that said, if you get value, as always, let me know in the comment section below what your biggest takeaway is. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that bell icon notification button. And with that said, let's go ahead and dive right in. So if this is your first video, in order for this video to make sense, what I would recommend you doing is going back and at least watching the last video that I went ahead and cut that essentially walked you through the upsell sequence, the weak point that we saw in the overall process being, of course, the upsell sequence, and what I thought was so wrong and so broken with that overall sequence as a whole. All right, that'll give a lot of color, that'll give a lot of context to why we decide to focus, here first when it comes to focusing our energy on certain specific things first. And then secondly, just kind of walk you through what was wrong with this before we went ahead and built this out. Now, in today's video, I'm going to walk you through, the actual sequence, how we went ahead and built it out, the difference between information marketing funnels and supplement funnels, and kind of just general e-commerce funnels, and how we've kind of, optimized things here in order to go ahead and improve them. So, hopefully improve them, I should say. So let's go ahead and check out the sales page here. So the first thing we did is you'll see up at the very top here, we added a timer. Now I'm on the master sales page inside the actual editor. So this is going to refresh to 59 minutes every single time I refresh. For the actual consumer, what's going to happen is they're going to land on this page. It's going to be an hour-long timer. And if they refresh at 55 minutes, it'll still be at 55 minutes, right? So the first thing we've done is we've added urgency and scarcity around the price, and we're essentially only allowing them to get the discount for a certain specific period of time, being 1 hour in this specific case. More of urgency than scarcity, right? Urgency is something disappears. Scarcity tends to be products disappearing, etc. So urgently, they need to take action or the price increases. So as you can see here, on the sales page, just kind of standard, $69 per bottle. Usually it's $100 per bottle. If they buy 3, it's $59 per bottle. If they buy 5, it's $49 per bottle. So the more they buy, the lower the price. Now I have a bunch of different things I want to test here when it comes to having an ugly duckling offer, adding subscribe and save offer and options, etc. We have a bunch of different things here that we want to test. But one of the principles that I always want you guys to remember back to and consistently practice in your marketing is that you only want to test one thing at a time. All right, so if I were to throw on different pricing on the front end and then also throw a completely new upsell sequence in, the back end, even if numbers were great, if I couldn't track back and know exactly what affected things in, an exact way with maybe a multivariate split test software, which we do use, we aren't using here, if I can't track back and figure that out, I don't necessarily know what's affecting what, right? So for this specific test, we're going to focus solely on increasing average order value, or AOV, by going ahead and optimizing the upsells. Now, the one thing we did change on the sales page, like I mentioned, is of course adding the urgency and adding the scarcity. And we can kind of judge how much that's affecting things very simply just by front-end sales conversion rate. And I wasn't worried, and I might be wrong here, who knows, but I wasn't worried too much that if we increase, front-end sales conversion rates with a timer, it'll affect the one-click upsell sequence in one way or another. Now, look, I could be totally wrong on that too. That's part of what you guys will get to see throughout this process. If I am wrong, I will tell you. One of the weird things about marketing is, sometimes you don't necessarily understand what is affecting what, and sometimes one thing can affect another thing that you would have never expected it to affect. As an example, there's a capture page, and I forget the exact split test, but essentially it was the last element on the capture page either said get instant access or complete the process, right? And the get instant access had a much higher sale or a much higher opt conversion rate, but it had a lower sales conversion rate. And the, complete the process had a higher sales conversion rate, but a lower opt-in rate. And so essentially, one thing can always affect the other, and you don't want to assume that, all right, I'm going to change this, I'm going to monitor sales conversion rate, it's not going to affect our upsell take rate, right? It could very well affect upsell take rate, and that's why I tend to only change one thing at once. That's kind of the best practice. We are breaking the rule just a little bit here, but again, this is, the one thing that I'm willing to change on the actual sales page. So we got the sales page. That's the adjustment that we made compared to the other sales page. Now, the first upsell, this is where the massive differences is firstly when it comes to their funnel and then ours, and then secondly when it comes to information versus supplements start to go ahead and come into play. All right, so the first thing you'll notice is we are literally just trying to sell them as many bottles as humanly possible at a massively discounted rate. And this is one of the huge differences between information marketing and between e-commerce and supplements. All right, so if you were in the information marketing world, this is literally the worst thing you can possibly do. So if you have a traffic product, as an example, where you're going to show people how to get traffic with Facebook ads, and then they buy the traffic product and the first upsell is, hey, want to get more traffic with Facebook ads? And it's just more of the same. You are immediately going to A, have very low conversion rates on the actual first upsell. So the thing won't convert at all. And then secondly, the second order consequence on top of low conversion rates is that you're going to have a bunch of pissed off customers. You're going to have a higher refund rate. You're going to have a higher chargeback rate. And overall, your customers are going to be really irritated. And the reason why is very simple. When you think through, the perspective of the customer, right? In the customer's mind, if they're buying your product on how to get traffic with Facebook ads, and they've just bought that immediately, and then the first upsell is, how to get traffic with Facebook ads, what naturally happens is the customer immediately thinks, well, holy crap, I got to buy this freaking upsell in order to get traffic with Facebook ads. I just bought the fucking product to get, traffic with Facebook ads. The traffic product that I just bought must be crap. I don't want to buy this additional product. And so it leads to low conversion rates here and low satisfaction rates in the actual product, right? So with information marketing, it is always the next step that you're selling. And we actually get to that in this funnel, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But you're always selling the next step immediately. And what I mean by the next step, very simply, is the next thing that they need to learn, the next problem that might arise, right? So you just got, the traffic product. It's going to show you how to get 10,000 clicks to your website whenever you want on demand. The problem now is that in order to do that profitably, we'll show you how to get the best traffic in the world. In order to do that profitably, you need to know how to build the right sales funnel. And so in this first upsell number one, obviously you wouldn't call it an upsell number one, right? But in this special, exclusive, limited time offer, I want to show you the best, fastest, easiest way to build, launch, and deploy your sales funnel starting today, even if you have zero sales, marketing, or technical skills. All right, now that would be info. So product number one is traffic. First upsell is sales funnel being, of course, the next step in the overall process, right? So with information marketing, always focus on the next step. Now with e-commerce and with supplements, the first upsell we found from looking at a bunch of different funnels, talking to a bunch of very smart people, and just doing the market research ourselves, like I always tell you to do in your journey, is more of the same tends to work very well. All right, now we are taking this to the extreme. I'm suspending my level of disbelief with this first upsell. Ultimately, we will let the numbers do the talking, but essentially they will buy Testo Fierce on the front end, right? They'll buy a bottle or they'll buy 3 bottles. And then immediately we're offering them 6 more bottles at an even bigger discount. All right. Now, the thought process behind this is very simple, right? They bought the thing on the front end. This is a supplement they need to take consistently for maximum results. And if they bought the thing on the front end, they have interest in this thing. Yes, the problem might be solved in their mind, but also the expectation for them taking it consistently and needing to take it consistently is just kind of naturally there with supplements, right? And you can also hit on that in the actual sales language as we did in the copy on this page. And so that's really what we're leaning on here. All right, it's, hey, you just bought this thing in order to get and ensure consistent and predictable results. Take advantage of the limited one-time exclusive offer. Get 6 bottles, load up, completely and totally load up, and load up at a massively discounted rate if you take action right here, right now on this page. All right, now if you read through this copy, and I'll show you guys these pages at some point, really what we do here is we go ahead and touch on the benefits of Testo Fierce again. From there, we touch on the problem. So we create some urgency and scarcity around the simple fact that the ingredients are very expensive, they're high quality, they're hard to get. And with all the different supply chain breakdowns and COVID issues that, have happened over the years, the last couple of years, it's hard for us to get the products and the ingredients sometimes. And so if you want to load up, and if you want to load up right now and do it in a massively discounted rate and ensure that you never don't have the product, now's the best time for you to go ahead and take action, right? So this is the first upsell. Big things I want you to notice here is we have a special one-time offer they can only get on this page. All right, so they can't buy this at a lower price on any other page at any other time. This is only available for them right here and right now. We have further, essentially just drilling in urgency and scarcity. You can't get this anywhere else. These are the reasons why you need to take this right now. This is the reasons why it might disappear in the future, etc. Just kind of hammering in the urgency and scarcity. A little bit of additional social proof, right? But as you can see, there isn't a ton here selling them more, on why they need Testo Fierce. Now, why is that, right? If you look at the train of thought of the customer, this is someone who just purchased Testo Fierce already. So it's someone who's already, inclined to understand the benefits. They already understand the benefits. They understand, why they're taking it. They understand the problem behind, all right, I, might have low testosterone. I want higher testosterone, etc. All of that is already in their mind. So I don't need to circle back and hit on that again. All I need to do is kind of recap, refresh them on the benefits very quickly. Then from there, offer a limited time discount, urgency, scarcity, remind them that there's zero risk, right? So we have, of course, our 60-day money back guarantee, and that's what we do here on this page. Now you'll also notice, look, 6 bottles is a lot. This is where I'm suspending my levels of disbelief. I went through a bunch of different training from a bunch of different people who know supplements more than I do. And what they all said is that when they have a massive offer like this, with like a 6-bottle offer as an example, what happens is the conversion rate is actually lower. So they might get a 20% conversion rate on the first upsell if they have 3 bottles, and a 10% conversion rate if they have 6 bottles. So the conversion rate is lower, but the overall average order value, the AOV, is actually higher, right? So look, I don't know how this is going to work. Ultimately, I am essentially willing to test. And that's another lesson for you here, right? Even if something in marketing seems really freaking weird and really freaking off, right? Like for me, in my mind, get 6 bottles after they just bought 3 or just bought 1, that seems overkill. I am willing to test it. I'm essentially willing to go ahead and put my own skepticism to the side just to ultimately see if it'll work. Now, at the same time, what I will say is we do have a backup plan in case 6 bottles is too much. So when they click no thanks here, you'll see this pop-up comes up and says, hey, how about just 3 bottles? The 6 bottles too much. How about just 3? Get it right now at $45 each. This is the cheapest you will ever see it. So that's what you call it your first downsell, right? So this is upsell number 1 and then downsell number 1. And this is, of course, in the new funnel. We don't know how this will go. I'll launch it out. We'll see how it does. And we will go from there, right? Second upsell, after they either say yes or no, we then take them to the fat burner offer. Let me X out of this so I don't get stuck in pop-up hell there. We take them to the fat burner offer. All right. Now, one thing to notice about this page, I want you to notice that it's very similar, and you'll see the third one too, right? Whoops, I opened the wrong one here. You'll see that, again, this page is very similar, but it's also different when it comes to the color layout. Essentially, while it's everything layout-wise and copy-wise and font-wise and all of that is the same, you will see that we have different colors here, and we have it differentiated from the other page, and we have it differentiated for a very specific reason. All right, so sometimes when people land on a page, if it's, exactly identical as the first upsell, the second upsell, they'll land on that second upsell page and they'll think that they're just on the exact same page, which leads to them going down, not reading the copy, completely and totally ignoring the copy, clicking no to the actual offer, and then they don't buy the next product, the next thing that you have to go ahead and offer in your product suite, which is obviously what you do not want. All right, so we have different coloring on the page just to make sure that they understand it's a different page. And then from there, what we've done here is we've shifted to the next step. All right, so we've shifted to, all right, you have the testosterone booster, and there's going to be a large segment of the audience who's buying the testosterone booster because they want to get more lean, get more defined, get more jacked, etc. So we're essentially taking them to the next step and say, hey, let's accelerate your fat loss journey. Let's accelerate your path to getting jacked, ripped, more defined, your six-pack abs that I know you want, with the next thing that'll help you do it even faster, which is, of course, Shred Fierce. All right, now this is the fat burner. So that's what we're doing here. Now, what you will notice here is because they did not buy Shred Fierce yet on the front end, right? With Testo Fierce, this is a Testo Fierce funnel. They've bought Testo Fierce. And so in that first OTO, I didn't really need to sell them on Testo Fierce. What you'll notice here is that we have to sell them here on Shred Fierce. So you'll see, again, I'm talking about the benefits: ignite your metabolism, double your energy, cut any sweet tooth cravings, increase weight loss efforts, talking about why it's different, talking about the ingredients. This is all stuff that was not on the first upsell, and it was not on the first upsell for a very specific reason. That reason being, they already bought the damn thing, right? Here, we need to essentially sell them on the idea of why Shred Fierce is an effective, the most effective, the best, the highest quality fat burner on the market, and then bring them down the path after we do that of, all right, this is usually this amount right here, right now, today. If you act urgently before the timer on this page expires, you can get it for this price. All right, so just remember, whenever you introduce a new concept, a new idea, a new product in this case, you then have to resell, not just the product, you also have to resell, first, pre-sell, I should say, the belief that, the solution, the mechanism, is the right mechanism. Then from there, once they adopt that belief, bring them to the actual product, the special offer, the reduced price, the limited, etc., all the different things we hit on in the first upsell. So that's what we do here. From here, of course, we got some social proof. More social proof, the better. And then what we have here again is you'll see we have the 3-bottle offer. So this is for 3 of them at $39 per bottle, a whopping 61% off. One thing I want to test here is giving a dollar amount off versus, the percentage off. I also want to test, instead of $39 per bottle, I want to test a per serving, right? So just $1.15 per serving kind of thing. But we'll get there in time. I want to test 1,000 different things here. We got to choose what we want to test wisely, because you always just want to test one thing first. All right. But just like with the first funnel, when they come here and they click no thanks, you'll see this pops up and says, hey, it's 3 bottles too many. Just grab 1. So this is another downsell. This is downsell number 2. So we had upsell number 1. We had downsell number 1. We had upsell number 2 being Shred Fierce. And we had downsell number 2. Now I'm going to grab the third upsell here. All right, and here we are. And as you can see, this page again is very similar, but also slightly different. All right, so as you can see, the fonts we use on the page, kind of the branding, right? The feel is very similar. We want the same fonts. We want the same, overall layout. We want a very similar design. So we want the overall brand recognition to be there for the actual customer, but we also want it to be different so the customer understands that they're on a different page. And as you can see here, this is OTO 3, and this is for pre-fierce. All right, so this is for the pre-workout. So what we've done is, again, we've brought them to the next step. All right, so now that you have Testo Fierce, you have your testosterone boosted, and you're going to be seeing maximum gains. Now they're going to be losing maximum fat with, of course, Shred Fierce. Let's maximize every single workout you do so that when you work out 2 times as hard, 3 times as long, and get maximum results from the workouts that you actually do. right? Now, obviously, there's some sarcasm there. I wouldn't be telling them to work out 3 times as long. But again, this is it for a pre-workout supplement. So we're really hammering home, let's get, the most out of every single workout that you do when you're taking the other supplements that you're taking, so that you can maximize the overall results that you get from going ahead and using the supplements, all right? Only a fool thinks that they can take a supplement without working out and get an amazing result. Our customer base that we're going after, not that type of customer. We're going after the type of customer who understands, yes, I'm going to take the supplement, but I'm also going to work out along with the supplement, and that's what's going to get me the results, and that's kind of what we're touching on here with this OTO. So as you can see, very similar to Shred Fears, other than the color, the essential kind of distinctions that we've increased and created intentionally. So we got the timer here. We got the, ability for them to add it to cart here above the fold. Then from there, same thing. So if you come down here, you'll see recapping the benefits, touching on the benefits here, getting into the reason why it's different, it being the only thing out there with transparent, ingredient list that actually works, the actual ingredients, what each ingredient does, bringing up the fact that they can get it here at a massive discount. So again, we sell the concept first, we sell the mechanism, after we sell the mechanism, after we sell the concept, we bring it to the fact that right here, right now, they can get this at a massively discounted rate. We got some customer testimonials thrown in there as well. And then from there, recapping the urgency scare sting, bringing up the, 3-bottle discount if you buy it right here. And then just like with Shred Fears, again, if they say no to the 3, we can give them the 1 at, again, the same massive discount if they act right here, right now, only on this special page. All right, so that is the entire one-click upsell sequence flow. All right, so what I'm really excited about is seeing just generally what this does for average order value. I'm super curious when it comes to, will the actual 6-bottle one-click upsell actually convert at all? One of the keys that you want to be aware of when it comes to upsell sequences is the impact of that first upsell. So if you have, upsell 2 and upsell 3 that are great offers, but the first upsell is horrible, you will get people in a no state. All right, so people will buy, they'll immediately see an offer. If that first offer is not good, they'll say no to that first offer. That creates a no state. Once they've said no once, they are then more likely to say no again. All right, so in your marketing, your business, and everything you're doing on webinars, in VSLs, in one-click upsell sequence, during events, whatever it might be, whatever the context, challenge, what you constantly want to be doing is you want to be building yes momentum. You want to be creating a yes state when people say yes over and over and over again. All right, so one of the things that I'm kind of skeptical of with this offer is maybe the first upsell is just going to have, too much friction, going to create a no state, and then from there could hurt overall conversions of upsell number 2 being, of course, Shred Fears, and upsell number 3 being, of course, pre-fears, right? Now, look, if that happens, I kind of have a contingency plan in place. I'll probably reduce the amount of bottles that they get, also have a lower number on the downsell, so maybe it becomes a 3 and a 1, just like with these. But generally, definitely curious about how this thing does. I like the copy, I like the design, have an awesome team that's working behind the scenes, or an awesome team member that's working behind the scenes on this, I should say, who does an awesome job with all of this stuff. And then from there, again, curious about, next step versus same thing. So with information marketing, I am so ingrained from the info world that you always sell the next step. You always sell the next step. And we definitely are doing this here with upsell 2 and upsell 3. But upsell 1 is definitely more of the same thing, which is definitely proven to work in this industry. It's just something that I got to see to believe for myself before I actually make the decision to keep this thing exactly as is and go from there. So remember, key lessons here, because I always want to give you guys lessons that you can use in your business as well. Key lessons is, firstly, remember, if you can get your AOV up, you can spend more, all right? The business that can spend the most to acquire a customer will always win. So instead of constantly looking at how do I get my CPA down, how do I get my CPA from 100 to 75, look at how do I get my AOV from 150 to 250, right? If you can spend $250 to generate a customer and your competitors can only spend $100 to generate a customer, you, my friend, will win. That's why we focused on the upsell sequence first. Then from there, remember the difference between information marketing world and e-commerce and supplements, right? Information marketing, you're always selling the next step. That's the only thing you're focusing on. If you have more of the same at any point in the sequence, at any point in the overall funnel, you're going to drastically hurt conversions. Not only you're going to hurt conversions, you're going to piss your customer off. You're going to have a bunch of customers refund. You're going to have a bunch of customers complain because they feel like the thing that they just bought on the front end isn't worth what they just went ahead and paid for. From there, also remember with your upsells, you want similarity in the pages, right? You want the brand recognition to be felt. So these are very similar, right? But you also want the pages to be different so that, again, the customer understands this is a different offer. I need to read this page too. I need to pay attention to this page too. And this is not the thing that I just said yes or no to. And then last but certainly not least, remember, whenever you introduce a new concept, whenever you introduce, all right, you just bought Testo Fears, now let's talk about the fat burner, you then need to re-bring up and sell them on the belief that, or sell them on the beliefs, I should say, that will bring them down the path that you want them to go down. All right, so really in this example, firstly, you would sell them on why a fat burner is an effective solution to lose fat and to get ripped more quickly. Then you'd sell them on, how this specific fat burner is different. Then you would sell them on the product, and then you would sell them on the special offer that they can get right here and right now. You would not just cut to, all right, you just bought Testo Fierce, now grab Shred Fierce at 60% off when you make a decision to buy and take action right here, right now. They don't know what Shred Fierce is. They don't know why they should take a fat burner. They don't know how the fat burner will help them. They don't know what makes Shred Fierce different than the other fat burners out there. And you need to sequentially take them down all of those different paths before they'll go ahead and make at least a buying decision at the level that you want them to make. And what else? Last but not least, I should say, again, because I already said last but not least, is, have a downsell. A downsell is one of the most simple ways to get something from a customer who has already said no. All right, so this person might be here and saying, God, I really want Shred Fierce. This thing looks awesome, but it's $39 a bottle times 3. I don't feel like parting with that kind of money right now, so no thanks, I'll pass. Oh, wait, I can grab one bottle for only $39? Screw it, I'm in. If we got a small percentage or a large percentage, who knows, of people to say yes to this offer, that will boost our AOV. Maybe this boosts our AOV by, $10, $5, right? If that gets us another $5 to be able to spend on the front end, because the business that can spend the most to acquire a customer wins, that ultimately, over the course of tens of thousands of units sold, will have a massive impact when you scale it out. Let's say we sell hundreds of thousands of units per month or hundreds of thousands of units per year, right? Hundreds of thousands of dollars times 5, you start to see why the small little adjustments added up over the course of a period of time on a big enough scale with enough volume. It's always a bunch of little adjustments that make a massive difference, not one big adjustment that makes a massive overall difference. So with that said, I hope you got a ton of value out of this video. I'm really excited to go ahead and see how this funnel works. I hope you can tell. I hope you're excited as well. Hey, if you are excited, let me know in the comment section below if you're excited to see how this first version of a funnel does. I should not be as hopeful as I am, because I should let you know that just about every single first version of a funnel that I've ever released or rolled out completely and totally tanks. So if I was looking at this logically, I would look at it the exact same way, that this will tank too. But hey, I want to test it. I want to get a little bit excited. You guys, let me know if you're excited to see how this thing does in the comment section below. Let me know what your biggest takeaway was from this video. As always, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, that bell icon notification button, and I'll see you in the next video.